We are back with another episode of a highly requested dino, the Allosaurus. And you guys want to know if the Allosaurus is still worth growing in Path of Titans. Now, since the last update, there's been a few changes to the Allosaurus, which we're going to talk about in this video. And actually, fun fact, I already did 2 videos on if it's worth growing in Allo, so this is technically the 3rd video that I'm doing on it. And I think the last 2 times I said yes, he was worth growing. Mainly because he's the first dino I ever played when I got this game. I just love the size of him, I love how fast he was, and when it comes to PvP, I had some really fun PvP experience with him when I first got the game. But have my opinions changed since then? Let's talk about it. So the Allo does have 700 max health, which is actually a pretty good amount of health. Considering the max health for an official dino is 1000, he's right at 700, so he's definitely above average when it comes to HP. He has the same HP as a Suko and only 100 health less than the T-Rex. He does have 4000 combat weight, which again is not that bad, although I believe his combat weight should be a little bit more or higher than what it is. And they did give him a few new abilities, so we're just going to start from the left to right and see what abilities he has. So for head, he still has a regular bite attack, and this bite attack does 60 damage, which is a pretty average bite attack for this type of dino. A lot of the dinos average about 50 to 60 damage, so that's about fair. For senses, he has nothing. For front limb, he still has a claw attack, and the claw attack only does 30 damage with 0.75 times bleed. Now, I believe out of every dino that has a clawing attack, the Allo's claw actually does the most bleed. For hide, we now have lightweight scales, which increases your speed by 10%, decreases your turning by 40, and decreases your armor by 10. I say it every video, lightweight scales is useless. I would never use this. This pretty much gives you way more trouble just for 10% extra speed. I don't think that's worth it. You could also increase your armor by 25%. Okay, that can be decent. Or you can do resilient scales, which increases bleed and venom healing by 30%. I would rather go with this one rather than any of these two. For legs, they did add traction, and this is where you increase your turning speed by 20, but decreases your stamina recovery by 30. Again, that is horrible, and we'll circle back to that in a few. And then when it comes to his legs ability, he does have 2 other abilities that will be coming out in the future. This is only available in the PTB and not available on the official game yet. But you have 2 moves here. You have strong legs, which actually you take 40% less knockback and 15% increased bone break healing. And then long distance runner, where it reduces your running stamina drain by 15%. This can be huge because the Allo does not have the best stamina, so this right here can be a game changer. And out of all 3 of these options, I definitely would go with the long distance runner. For tail, we now have balanced, where you gain 15% increased turning. That can be good. Or your regular tail attack, which does the average 30 damage. And for the Allo, I feel like a tail attack is pretty important because when you think about it, you only have 3 attack moves. You have a bite, you have a claw, and then you have a tail attack. Once you take that away, then your backside is pretty much vulnerable to every dino that tries to tail ride you. And then for voice, we don't have anything for voice, although I really wish he had a voice ability. Something to help them get buffed when they're in packs. I do love the look of the Allo. You can see I currently just changed my skin as we were doing that. And I don't know, I personally always love the way the Allos look. Whether it's in any dinosaur game, they fascinate me for some reason. And although they're not that intimidating, it's really fun to run in packs with them. It makes you feel more badass, and I just love them in packs. But when it comes to the things I do not like about the Allo, I feel like my list is slowly adding up. Now, we mentioned before that his sprinting speed is at 1000, but it actually used to be higher than that. I believe it was at 1100 if I'm not mistaken, and they nerfed it down to 1000 sprint speed. So he is a little bit slower. So if you're going to decide on a build to use, I always like to go with the speed build because I just like to be fast. I like to be able to leave situations when I need to, or chase someone down when I need to. So speed build is just my preference, but if you want to do extra little bulky, do a defense, you can, but you'll be a little bit slower. Another thing, I think he has really bad stamina. Now, he can run for pretty decent distances without running out of stamina that quickly, but his stamina recovery is horrible. Probably one of the worst I've seen. He has about the 4th slowest recovery out of all the carnivores. So now we're going to put on traction where you get increased turning speed, but your stamina regen goes down by 30%. So with already bad stamina regen, let's put this on and see the difference it makes when we recover our stamina. So we're going to put that on there. All right, we just drained our stamina now. Now we have traction on. So this is his stamina recovery with traction. Okay, you could definitely tell a difference. You can see how slow it's going. Now, when you're by yourself and no one's attacking you, it may seem pretty fast. But when you're in a PvP situation and you have to lay down or sit down to get that stamina back quick to continue the fight or to run away, that slow regen can really damage you. And I know that from personal PvP experience how bad the Allo regen is. But if you have your own thoughts on his stamina, let me know in the comments below. And as I said before, I don't like how they didn't give him a voice call. I feel like, okay, they gave him, some new hides, some bullshit hides here, like lightweight scales. But why didn't they give him a voice ability to make them better in packs? I feel like these dinos are more made for packs, traveling in groups rather than solo. I don't think the Allo is really made for solo play, although I used to use the Allo solo all the time, but solo PvP can be hard with the Allo when you go against experienced players. But in a group, you guys can be deadly, so Allos are strong in a group. Solo, I don't think they're that strong. They really, in 1v1s, they get demolished by a lot of other dinos. Do I think the Allosaurus is now worth growing after the recent update? Last 2 times, I said yes. I hate to do it, but this time, I'm going to say no. I do not think the Allo is worth growing as of right now. Let me know in the comments your thoughts on the Allo. Do you think he is still worth growing? Do you think he's good? Do you think he's bad? What do you think they can add to make him a little bit better?